What up, y'all? It's your hometown hero, the real Adam Coleman. Y'all know what it is, man. TRU ID Apologetics. And if you didn't know, I just launched my TRU ID Gaming channel, man. We had our first game stream last week. And it's just a time where we get together, talk about apologetics, kind of be laid back and just have a good time, kick back, watching or play some video games, watch video games, and just kind of kick it, man. We keep it real informal. But at the same time, sometimes we do talk about some serious stuff. So, as a matter of fact, just this past weekend, I gave a part of my testimony that I'm pretty sure I haven't shared here on my channel before. And so I clipped part out of it so y'all can check it out. Part of my story where I actually almost got caught up in a Christian cult, y'all. That was real, right back there in college. So check out this video, listen to my testimony, and it'll probably give you an understanding of why I approach things the way that I do here on my channel. So check it out. But yeah, so like with my ministry is like, I can't be playing games, man. I'm playing games right now, but theologically, no pun intended, but theologically, I can't be playing around, man. You know what I'm saying? Like if I put listen, here's the thing. Let me pause this for a second. Let me pause it because I want y'all to hear me on this, right? So here's the thing, okay? And now, admittedly, this is a large part of kind of what undergirded, why I said what I said and did what I did. When I first went to college, right now, I grew up in church and all that kind of stuff. My freshman year in college, I came in contact with a group called ICC. It's like, I think it's International Church of Christ. Okay. Now, truth be told, what happened was I ended up going to this church for all the wrong reasons to begin with. There was a girl that was going there who I met at the dorms at VCU. And, I thought she was flying, so I decided I was going to go ahead and, I was trying to holler at her. I heard she went to this church, so I started going because I was going to try to, use that as a way to get in. So I had the wrong motivations off rip, number one. But, anyway, so I ended up going to this church, International Church of Christ, and everything seemed cool, man. They believe in Jesus, and, as far as I knew, I think that they believed in the Trinity and all this and that. I mean, everything seemed cool on the surface. And so, again, I'm a freshman in college. Didn't really know anybody. I love basketball, but basketball is my first love, in a natural sense. Which is why I'm playing the game now. I'm not physically able to, play as much as I used to, so I've substituted with 2K. But I love basketball, and there's some guys who would ball like every Wednesday. That went to that church, and then it was seemed like a good social setting. People was about Christ as far as I knew. So I was like, man, this is cool. You know what I mean? I like rap music. Some of them guys was into. Well, they were into rap, but they didn't interrupt me from listening to rap. So I was like, all right, cool. I can hang with them, right? So I'm hanging with these folks from the International Church of Christ. I'll never forget, we go to this Christian movie. I think it was a movie about Peter called Upside Down. This is back in like 98, 99 or whatever. And, we're driving back from the movie. It was being shown at UVA, actually. And so, actually, when we were there at UVA, we're walking out of the movie, and somebody, asked me, say, "Yeah, man, like, when did you get saved?" I was like, "Yeah, I got saved at age, 6, 7, something like that." And they responded like, "Oh," I was like, "All right, that's kind of weird." You know what I mean? I didn't think it kind of merited that kind of response, but I didn't really pay it no mind. I just thought it was strange. And then, like a week later, we're back at the church. You know what I'm saying? And somebody asked me the same question. Yeah, I gave them the same answer, and they was like, "Oh," and I was like, "Oh," it was just like super weird. I was like, "Yo, why do cats keep responding that way?" So, anyway, what happens is, long story short, a couple weeks later, I'm playing ball. We're coming back from the basketball court, and I kind of just got the sense like, you know what? I don't think these cats think that I'm saved. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure, like, I think I'm saved, but I'm starting to get the feeling that they don't think that I'm saved, right? Just check my volume levels. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all can hear me. But so anyway, I'm like, all right. So we're coming back from playing ball, and I was with this guy Jeff, and I put his name out there. Well, it's a common name, Jeff, and this other guy. We're riding back, and so I just asked him like, "Hey, y'all think I'm saved? Y'all believe I'm saved?" And the dude just straight said to me like, "Nah." It's like straight up like, "No, like not at all." I was like, "What?" You know what I mean? I've been baptized. I believe in Jesus. I made a legit confession and all this kind of stuff and so on and so forth. I'm like, "What do you mean I'm not saved?" I mean, at the time, I wasn't like involved in any sort of like egregious, sins or blaspheming the Holy Spirit. So I'm like, "What? Yo, where's this coming from?" He was just straight up like, "Nah, bro." And so so I started asking them questions. I'm like, well, like, why not? And I came to find out that their doctrine involved, you couldn't be saved unless you were baptized into their denomination, into their church. And before you could do that, you had to go through like these 12 steps of discipleship and so on and so forth. And when you met their approval, then you could be, baptized and so on. You know what I'm saying? So they didn't believe you were saved if you weren't in their denomination, whatever you want to call it. And so that thing bothered me, man. That thing bothered me. And I just kind of sat quietly. I was still going over there, on Sundays. I just didn't really know what to make of it. Again, I'm a freshman in college. It's my first time really being away from home for any extended period of time. And it was the first time where I actually had to get in my Bible by myself. And I'll never forget, it's kind of embarrassing, but hey, I'm just kicking back chilling. So I'll just tell you all those stories. So I'll never forget, I was, one night, man, I stayed up all night searching the scriptures on what it means to be saved. How do you know that you're saved? I'm saying this is like really before the internet was a thing. There was internet, but it wasn't like now where I can just Google stuff on my phone or whatever. It was I just had to get in the scriptures. And I really believe God led me to, the scriptures that I needed at that time. And I was literally up all night, man. My head was hurting and all this kind of stuff. I'm just like going through the scriptures, trying to make sure that I hadn't missed it in some sort of way. And so what happens is, I never forget, like the next morning, it's like, the sun is rising, and I felt like I had come to, the scriptures where it really, I knew for sure that I was saved. I felt like I had scriptural support for that, right? And that God had dealt with me and really affirmed me. And I never forget, it's like, the sun is coming up, and I had just bought the Busy Bones solo album. I was a fan of Bone Thugs and Harmony. I was still listening to secular music back at that time, like on the regular without any qualifications. I was just whatever. And it's so funny because he had this one song on that album that was like kind of Christianish, and so I remember putting that song on. It's kind of mellow like, and like, yeah, man, and I'm like just kind of meditating on my salvation as I've got Busy Bone playing in the background. You know what I mean? No, it was the clean version, at least. You know what I'm saying? So I guess I felt somewhat good about that. Oh man, yeah, I actually see that, man. Them cats be tripping. But nevertheless, long story short, I ended up leaving that church like the next Sunday. I just stopped going, and cats asked me. I never forget, man. Matter of fact, they asked me, "Yo, why didn't you come out? Why didn't you come to church?" They followed up, which actually, based upon their perspective, they should have done. They were supposed to follow up, and one of them gave me a tape, of the sermon from that Sunday that I missed, and the dude said, "I'll never forget it." And the dude said, "Man, this is the preacher, mind you. This is the preacher." He says, "You can't call on Jesus. Jesus doesn't have a cell phone where you can just call him up, and you can't just call on Jesus. You have to go through a man. You have to go through one of us, and he starts going on and on about how you have to go through, your elders and stuff to get to Christ. And I'm saying, oh, see, boom, I knew and that was a definite. I probably wasn't going to go back anyway, but after I heard that, I was like, nah, no, I'm done. And in the months following that, I remember there were, some of the guys would still, try to reach out to me or whatever. And I would ask about some of the folks that was, I thought was still in it. And they would always say, like, oh, man, yeah, so-and-so fell away. Or this or that person fell away. You know what I'm saying? And meaning they no longer go to their church. But for them, it meant like you fell away from Christ. And they were, oh, so-and-so fell away. This person, that person fell away. And then I would catch up with some of those people that supposedly fell away. And they would just, you could tell that they just had this negative experience, that, of just hyper legalism that they could no longer stomach, and they were just didn't know where to go, but they just knew they had to leave. And I didn't have any long conversations with folks, about it, but I could just tell that they were like really shaken up about it. You know what I mean? And so some of them, I don't know if they ever, found themselves in another church or whatever, but I do know that at least at that time, it was something that really negatively impacted their walk with Christ. Now, I said that to say this, that for me, having had those experiences at ICC and seeing what bad application of doctrine can do, particularly when it becomes of a cultish, type of atmosphere due to that bad application, misapplication of the scripture. Having my experience with the Word of Faith movement, and knowing how having a wrong understanding of our relationship to God, how faith works, some of these other things knowing how it can corrupt your relationship with God and cause you to have a diminished view of Scripture, cause you to have a diminished view of God's character. Because I've experienced those things, I'm extremely sensitive to my platform, in the sense that basically being a conduit or a doorway for people who are watching my stuff to the views, churches, organizations, and so forth that are represented on my show, right? I do not want somebody to watch my show and see someone who's a representative of an erroneous ideology, or some sort of religious sect or whatever. I don't want somebody to watch to see somebody who represents that on my show and then think, okay, well, Adam's cool with them, so yeah, I'm gonna start banging with the SDA, or I'm gonna start banging with this or that group, right? I'm gonna start banging with the ICC. You know what I'm saying? Because that person was on Adam's show and Adam's trustworthy, so now that person must be cool. And then based upon somebody being seen on my show, they end up in a church or in some sort of religious atmosphere that is injurious to their walk with Christ, or prevents them from having a right walk with Christ to begin with, right? I never want to be in that position, ever, where my show is a conduit that leads somebody to an environment where their walk with Christ will be poisoned. Okay.
Some deep stuff right there. That's real talk. So, like I said, man, on the TRU ID Gaming channel, we get it in talking about some real things, kind of informal. We just talk about a lot of different things, from apologetics to current events. But with that being said, I would be remiss if I didn't give y'all at least a little bit of a taste of how I get down on these video games, y'all. So check out these game highlights real quick. As a matter of fact, just recently had a video about Jonathan Isaacs, the NBA player for the Orlando Magic. Y'all can see me in the game going head to head with him, trying to give him these buckets, y'all. So anyway, if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, hit the like button, share this and all that kind of stuff. And also, go ahead and subscribe to my new TRU ID Gaming channel. I'll have the link for that in the description. And I hope to see y'all over there, man, chilling with us. Peace.
Well, even before this week, I talked to some folks. Oh, let's go. That's what I'm talking about. That's how you run the floor. Okay, you say he helped Mark. So Brother Jonathan Isaacs, Ben says he helped organize a march for the gospel in Orlando. Oh, that's dope. He might be watching me right now, man. He's been watching some of us for a while, but he might be watching right now, man. I'm about to dunk on him. That's what I'm gonna do. Send a message, Jonathan Isaacs. This is what he can get on 2K. Get dunked on by Scott Lane. Yo, there's Jonathan Isaacs. He's in the game, man. I gotta find a way to. Oh, he's guarding me too. Oh, let's go. Let's go get these buckets. Let's go. Oh, he blocked my shot. Oh, snap. After I chunked at that trash. Oh, man. That's a bit. Oh, and he dunked, too. Oh, my goodness, man. No lie, yo. Jonathan Isaacs just pulled a gospel 360 on me, dog. Let me try to get him again. Oh, man. Jonathan Isaacs giving me buckets, yo. All right, let's go, John. Okay. Oh, he got blocked again. Oh, snap. Jonathan Isaacs is killing me right now. Oh, no, he's running the floor. It's like literally the exact same play, man. Forget Jonathan Isaacs, yo. I'm not good enough to be on his level yet, apparently. I tried to go at him, man. Man, forget you, Jonathan Isaacs. You're not going to be on my show. You're banned from TRU ID. But, that's just crazy. Oh, okay. I got Isaacs on me again. Let's go, Isaacs. Let's go. You're not big enough. Oh, man. Not big enough. But I hit him. That's how I made that scored on him. But I drew the foul. Let's go. Ah, man. Didn't get no points out of it, though. Maybe I can get him foul trouble. Oh, I'll count that. That's a bucket. I just got a bucket off Jonathan Isaacs at the foul line. Christianity is a contact sport. You know what I'm saying? It's not merely an intellectual exercise that you just kind of accept some good teaching or something like that. No, there's a living out of this stuff. You have to live it on the day to day, and that doesn't happen online, at least not exclusively. Oh, let's go. Y'all saw the dunk. Y'all see what it is. See what the highlight. Let's go. Oh man.